When dreams die, it feels like the world is pulling you apart, one thread at a time. It's not just the dream that hurts, it's the space it leaves behind. The emptiness that fills that space seems so vast that you feel like you'll never be whole again. That's normal. It's human to feel lost when something you believed in for so long evaporates. But know this, every part of you that feels broken, every piece that feels lost, is still part of you. You are not less because your dreams didn't unfold in the way you wanted. You are still whole. Sometimes you'll look around and see others advancing, achieving, growing, and there's a part of you that feels as though you've been left behind. You see people thriving while you stand in the stillness, uncertain of your next step. But what you must understand is that the journey isn't about who gets there first. It's about the person you become along the way. Life is not a race, and the death of one dream does not mean your life is over. It simply means that a new chapter, a new path is waiting for you. I know how it feels to question yourself when things fall apart, to feel like you've invested everything into something, only to watch it crumble. The loss is more than just the dream itself. It's the doubt, the insecurity, and the shame that comes with it. But here's what I want you to remember. Loss doesn't define you. What defines you is your ability to rise from that loss, to find strength in places you didn't know you had, to build a new dream from the fragments of the old one. You may have lost what you wanted, but you haven't lost the ability to dream again. The death of a dream isn't a punishment, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to grow, to evolve, to stretch beyond what you once thought possible. We all have these ideas of what success looks like. We create these pictures in our heads of how life is supposed to unfold. But the truth is, life has a way of surprising us, of twisting and turning in directions we didn't expect. And when that happens, we have to trust that the detour is meant to bring us somewhere we were always meant to go, even if we didn't see it coming. In those moments when you feel like your dream is slipping through your fingers, remember that the path ahead might be a different kind of beauty, a beauty you can't yet understand, but will one day embrace with open arms. Dreams die, yes, but they do not vanish. They evolve, they change, they prepare you for something greater. What you think is the end could very well be the beginning. It might not look the way you planned, and it might not feel easy, but it will push you to be the person you were always meant to become, someone you could never have known if you hadn't experienced the pain, the heartache, and the devastation of losing what you thought was yours. And in that rebirth, you'll find that you are stronger than you ever imagined. When you stop clinging to a dream that has passed, you make room for a new one to enter. You make space for new possibilities to bloom even when it feels like the soil has turned cold. There is always a new season. There is always a new chance to rebuild, to dream again, and to hope again. So, if you're standing in the midst of a broken dream, take a deep breath. Allow yourself to mourn, to feel the sadness, the loss. That's part of the process too. But also allow yourself to trust that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, has a plan for you. Trust that the very thing you thought you lost is simply being reshaped into something even more beautiful. Trust that the best is yet to come. In the end, you are not the dream you've lost. You are the person who keeps moving forward, who continues to live, to grow, to evolve. Your worth is not defined by the dreams you've achieved or the ones you've lost, but by the strength you show in the face of adversity, the courage you display when things seem impossible. Dreams may die, but you are alive. And as long as you are breathing, you have the power to dream again. So keep dreaming, keep going, because the story of your life is far from over. In conclusion, when dreams die, it's not the end, it's simply the beginning of something new. Dreams may fade, but they don't vanish. They evolve, they transform, and they lead us down unexpected paths that are meant to help us grow into the people we are meant to be. Yes, it's painful when something you believed in slips away, but in that very pain lies the strength to rebuild and reimagine. The death of a dream doesn't define you, it's your resilience, your willingness to keep moving forward, that defines you. So, when life shatters your dreams, remember, you are not defeated. You are being prepared for something greater. keep going, keep dreaming, because your story isn't over yet and the best chapters are still waiting to be written. I've witnessed the way the cracks in our lives allow the light to come in, how the brokenness gives birth to strength, to resilience, and to an entirely new sense of self. The dreams you thought you lost will guide you to a place you never expected, a place that will challenge you, grow you, and shape you into someone who is unrecognizable from who you once were. When your dreams die, it's not the end of the story. It's simply a pause, a necessary moment of reflection and realignment. Dreams are not static, they are fluid. They grow with us, change with us, and sometimes they disappear altogether to make room for something even more incredible. And if you can embrace this truth, if you can lean into the unknown with courage, you will discover a world of endless possibilities waiting just beyond the horizon. The truth is, the death of a dream doesn't mean you failed. It means you've been given the opportunity to redefine success on your own terms. The world will tell you that success looks a certain way, that your dreams must look a certain way, but you have the power to create your own path. You have the ability to rewrite the story, to craft a new narrative that reflects who you are now, not who you were yesterday. The death of one dream simply clears the way for a new one to take root, one that is truer to your soul, one that is meant for you. There will be moments when you wonder if it's worth it, when you question whether the effort, the pain, the struggle are all worth it. And in those moments, I want you to remember something. Every successful person, every person who has ever achieved greatness has experienced failure, heartbreak, and loss. They have all faced moments where their dreams seemed impossible, where everything they worked for seemed to disappear in an instant. But they didn't give up. They didn't let their dreams die without finding new hope in the ashes. If you're reading this right now and you feel as if your dreams are dying, know this: you are not alone. You are not the first person to face this challenge, and you won't be the last. But you are stronger than you think. You have within you the resilience, the courage, and the determination to rise again. And when you pick up the pieces of your broken dreams and begin again, you will find a version of yourself that is more powerful, more fearless, and more capable than ever before. Your dreams are not dead. They are simply waiting for you to catch up. They are evolving, growing, and preparing you for a future that is beyond anything you've ever imagined. So don't give up. Don't give in. Embrace the transformation. Embrace the journey. Because when you look back on this moment, you will realize that it wasn't the death of your dreams that defined you. It was how you chose to rise from the ashes that made all the difference. And when you rise, you will realize that the death of one dream was simply the birth of 1,000 new possibilities. You will see that the greatest gift you can give yourself is the permission to dream again, to hope again, to believe again. Because the truth is, you are not defined by the dreams you've lost. You are defined by the dreams you are yet to create. Keep dreaming, keep living, keep moving forward. So when dreams die, remember, they don't die forever. They are just waiting for the moment when you are ready to receive them once again. And when that moment comes, you will be ready to turn those dreams into something even greater than you ever thought possible. Dreams are fragile, but they are also incredibly powerful. You can spend your entire life chasing something you believe in with all your heart. And just when you think you've caught it, just when you feel like you're about to hold it in your hands, it slips away. It's heartbreaking. It shakes you to the core. Dreams aren't just aspirations, they're the pieces of your soul laid out in front of you. And when they vanish, it's as if part of your very identity fades with them. But here's the thing. Dreams don't die in the way you think. Yes, they fade from the surface. Yes, they seem to vanish into thin air when you're standing still, frozen, unable to understand why. But deep down, something shifts. Sometimes, something breaks apart only to be rebuilt in an entirely new way. And that's when transformation happens, when something that was once fragile and unrealized becomes powerful and unshakable. There's a tendency to look at the end of a dream as a failure, a sign that maybe you weren't meant to succeed, maybe you weren't good enough, or maybe the world was against you. We all have those moments where we feel as if we're standing in the ashes of everything we once wanted. It's a bitter place to be, but in those ashes, new things grow. You cannot begin to imagine what's waiting for you in the aftermath, because growth isn't linear, and it doesn't always come in the form you thought it would. When dreams die, they do not vanish quietly, and they do not disappear in the way we often hope they will. Dreams are stubborn, wild, and persistent things, and when they die, they leave a void that can feel like the entire universe has come crashing down. But here is the secret. Dreams don't actually die. No, they evolve, they transform, they take on new shapes, new purposes. They may not look the same as they once did, but they are never truly gone. I remember a time when I was so certain of what I wanted. My heart held tight to a vision, a plan that felt as if it was woven into the fabric of my very being. Everything seemed perfect in the beginning, and I believed with all my soul that this dream would carry me to the future I imagined. But life, as it often does, had different plans for me. Dreams sometimes shatter. They're not always destined to come true in the way we envision them. And when that happens, it feels as if the world has crumbled beneath us, leaving us with the debris of a past we can no longer touch, of a future that seems out of reach. There's something incredibly painful about having your dream slip through your fingers. It's not just the disappointment, the sadness, or the fear of the unknown that stings. It's the grief of losing something that you believed was yours to claim. You feel betrayed by the universe, as if you've been handed a beautiful vision only to have it ripped away. For a moment, everything you've worked for seems pointless. You ask yourself, why me? Why did my dream die while others seem to flourish? But let me tell you this, and let me tell you it from the deepest part of my heart. Life does not happen to us. It happens for us. When dreams die, it is not the end. It is merely the beginning of a new chapter, one that you cannot yet see. I know that it's difficult to believe when you are sitting in the dark, feeling as though you've lost your way, but trust me, this too shall pass. And when it does, you will stand taller, stronger, and more resilient than ever before. You see, dreams are like seeds. When you plant a seed, you cannot see the roots growing beneath the surface. You water it, you nurture it, and you wait for the first signs of life. Sometimes that seed struggles. It faces storms, droughts, and harsh conditions. But if you stay patient, if you continue to trust the process, that seed will eventually grow into something beautiful. It might not grow into what you first imagined, but it will grow into something extraordinary nonetheless. And so it is with your dreams. Sometimes they must break before they can blossom into something even greater. Life is full of twists and turns, of unexpected obstacles that force us to evolve, to change, to grow in ways we never thought possible. Your dreams may die, but they are not gone. They have simply transformed, taking you down a path you may have never chosen, but one that will ultimately lead you to a place that is meant for you. The hardest part is the waiting, the uncertainty that follows the death of a dream. You look around, and it feels as if everyone else is moving forward, achieving their goals, living their lives, and you're stuck in this in-between space, unsure of where to go, unsure of how to begin again. But let me remind you, waiting is not wasted time. The pain you feel, the frustration, the grief, they are not signs of failure. They are your growth. They are part of your healing. And if you allow yourself to feel them, to honor them, you will emerge stronger than you were before. When your dreams die, it's okay to mourn. It's okay to feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. It's okay to ask yourself, what now? You don't need to have all the answers right away. You don't need to know exactly where you're going. Sometimes the most important thing is simply to show up, to keep moving, even when you can't see the next step. Life isn't about having it all figured out. It's about showing up, even when the path is unclear, even when the dream that once seemed so real is now just a memory. But here's where it gets interesting. The death of a dream is often the birth of a new one. The pain that you feel, the disappointment you carry, they will make you more compassionate, more understanding, and more driven than you've ever been. You will find new passions, new purposes that you never even imagined. Life has a way of opening doors when you least expect it, when you've given up on those doors yourself. Trust that the universe has a plan for you, even when you can't see it. I've been there. I've stood in the rubble of broken dreams, wondering what was left for me. But I've also seen the beauty that comes from that brokenness.